Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq, back with our annual Singapore Fintech Festival coverage. Organized by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the Singapore Fintech Fest is on 6th edition. We're proud to be a media partner for the 4th year in a row. Joining me for this segment is Joaquin Ayuso. He's the head of Nium Labs to discuss embedded finance and the fintech and crypto spaces in Singapore. Joaquin, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill. It's great to be here with you.
Thank you. And tell us about Nium and Nium Labs.
So Nium is a leading embedded fintech company that helps banks, payments providers, travel companies, and other businesses to embed financial services, right? This includes embedding technologies for making and receiving payments, issuing cards, or services such as banking as a service. And specifically at Labs, our function is to understand better what the consumers are expecting from other companies that are not fintech related from the fintech world. So we can help them embed the fintech experience into their non-fintech business model.
And you spoke on a panel at SFF on embedded finance. What were some of the key themes discussed?
It was great to talk with Joel and with Cesar. I think that the main theme is how embedded finance is going to evolve and where things are going to move forward in the near future with fintech and embedded finance. Embedded finance have become a trendy topic, and it's becoming more embedded into the services that a lot of companies are pushing in. But there is a question mark of whether that is going to basically evolve into killing the traditional banking experience that consumers are having and moving everything to the experience world, or there's going to be some trade-offs happening in that transition.
And what's exciting about the fintech and crypto spaces in Singapore?
It is a thriving ecosystem. The regulators are enabling a breadth of companies flourishing and having this regulatory framework that enables them to safely service crypto into the market to the end consumers is so fresh to see. You can see other markets in the world that are not really keen into regulating crypto, which enables basically a wild west of services that can only deter customers to go into those new opportunities that crypto can bring. So I think Singapore is doing an amazing job to make it safe and make sure that happens.
So what does fintech look like in 5 years? Where are the opportunities?
Fintech is going to look like crypto. It's amazing how the financial ecosystem is evolving really fast into new type of financial products. The fintech world has been able to enable a deconstruction of the traditional financial services into different pieces that now companies are basically re-aggregating together in different models. Buy now, pay later is a great example of how these new Legos of financial services that fintech infrastructure companies like us are providing enable companies to give new opportunities of lending to the customer, so they don't have to go to the traditional credit cards from banks, and they can basically leverage their lending capacity and credit worthiness directly from the business. This is also happening from the merge between what the traditional financial world is and the crypto world is, and this composable environment, this composable finance environment that it's happening is enabling yet another wave of new financial products that 3 or 4 years from now are going to become more mainstream than today.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I feel like in a couple of years past, it was always us versus them, legacy institution versus fintech. And it feels as if, okay, so fintech knows it needs the regulatory expertise, it needs the financial banking end of it. But the legacy institutions need the speed at which fintech can bring this technology to market. So it seems as if they're finally learning how to work together and grasp these opportunities moving forward.
We are licensing a little bit over 40 plus countries today. With our own license, we can issue our own cards and we can hold our own deposits and we can do our own payments, yet we still partner with 40 plus banks in the world to be able to offer these services. There is obviously benefit from both worlds to partner, from one side to learn, from the other one to leverage the licensing. So I think that this evolution is actually going to help the banking industry to evolve faster and to get into the curve in a better way.
All right, Joaquin, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you, Jill, for having me.